We got to.
What is up, guys? East Coast Octane here, and I'm going to do a little recap or discussion about my track day. So y'all probably saw the video. I figured I'd explain some things. I was at VIR for 2 days. Took the Civic out. We had an issue on the way there. So on the way there, I had a brake caliper kind of rattle loose, which is completely my fault. I had to take those calipers on and off the bike about 100 times, grinding them, making sure everything fit, and they cleared everywhere. And apparently the last time I test fit them, I left them on there but didn't actually tighten it down all the way. So it rattled loose. And then I was backing up at a gas station, got wedged between the wheel and the hub and literally put a hole in my wheel. I'll toss a picture of that up. A hole in the wheel, it sucked. That meant I could not run 4 of the R compound, DOT R compound tires that I had. So I ended up running, I was gonna just run all 4 all-season tires. I figured I wouldn't be able to go that fast, but I mean it'd still be fun. It'd just be a little slippery. And I went to put one of those on the front and found out that my brake caliper brackets did not clear the 14-inch wheels. So I had to run the 15s in the front and 14s in the back. Which, I mean, if you've got to run a weird staggered setup, that would be preferable to have more grip in the front for front-wheel drive. But it did make for an interesting day. That is definitely the reason I spun. Those rear tires were getting super waxy. It was pretty hot out the first day, especially in the afternoon. Or early afternoon, I guess. So I went out and the tires were just getting shredded in the back, and a lot of the turns it was trying to step out, and finally it did. And we went back out on the track for a few runs or a few laps, and it about spun a couple times. I think you hear me saying there that I was going to go in early one session just because the tires were getting too hot. I kept looking around trying to find a set of wheels, and I couldn't find any. But you think 4x100 is such a common track day bolt pattern because Miatas use it, and so do older BMWs, and both of those are pretty common. But none of the people had spare wheels. Finally, I did find a guy with an old BMW who had a spare set of wheels and was actually he was only running that first day, so he gave me 2 wheels and tires that I gave to his buddy afterwards to take home or something. So day 2, I got to run the morning session with close to matching wheels and tires. That's why you saw I had the K1s in the rear when I got out to inspect the car. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, person? What are you doing? That's not where the road goes. Okay. Anyway, that's what you get out and you see I've got my wheels in the front and the K1s in the rear. Super nice guy. He didn't even ask me to pay him. I was figured I'd shell out a good bit just because, you know, that I needed the wheels. Or it was nice to have the wheels. A huge difference with all 4 sticky tires. I could really push it a lot harder through turns. In the video where there's not a lot of sound, like the sound kind of drops off, it's because I put a wind cover over my microphone to block out some wind noise, but it took away almost all the noise. The wind cover is on. If the wind cover's on, it means I had the sticky tires on. But so you can see it doesn't look like that much of a difference, but it made a huge difference in just like confidence going into turns and coming out of turns. I mean, I could really throttle it out without the back stepping on me. So yeah, it was really fun. I think I mentioned at the end of that video that I was overheating a little bit. on the straightaways, which we'll deal with later. I looked into some radiator options, but I can't. I want to keep air conditioning in that car. Not that I've used it a lot, but I just like the idea of having it. So that kind of limits my radiator options. I kind of got to go to stick to the single-sided deal. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That explains most of it. The organization I went through was Chin Motorsports. You can look them up if you're interested in doing a track day. They're not the cheapest out there, but I mean they do have really good instructors. Another thing, if you talk to people who do a lot of track days, Chin Motorsports generally has really fast cars there and really fast drivers. I mean, I showed up and I was literally the only front-wheel drive car there, and I think there were only 2 cars there with less horsepower. It was mostly Z06 Corvettes, BMW M3s, and Porsche 911s. I mean, that was like the majority of what was there. So big difference from my Civic, but my Civic held its own. I mean, it was doing fine. It's got plenty of power. The thing I really need to work, and the brakes were fantastic. I put those new brakes on. I had 0 problems with braking, which was pretty nice. Just felt really good to not have braking issues. Yeah, I had actually, this is kind of funny. You saw I spawned, so I had a different instructor. If you notice, there's a different person next to me throughout the video. A couple of people have asked about that. If you're going for your first time, most organizations you're going to go through are going to put an instructor in the car with you. Unlike a motorcycle where they just they give you some light instruction and then you're kind of on your own. With the car track days, they keep somebody next to you for basically the whole for a while. And some people, they keep an instructor with you for several track days. I guess the morning of the second day, my instructor called in and said that he was having a lot of neck pain, which I'll take credit for that. I gave the guy whiplash. But anyway, I got another instructor who was fantastic, actually. My instructor the second day was great. And he actually said, you'll be fine next time to go solo, but he did want me to do a couple runs with an instructor if I go again, just to kind of get checked out, and then that'd probably be good to go solo. If you notice in there, whenever I pass someone, they actually give a signal out the window. It's called a point buy, so they point out the window on which side that it is safe for you to pass. So it's kind of hard to see in the video, but that's what's going on there. If you're wondering why I pass people the way I pass people. Which way do we want to go? Let's go this way. Yeah, and that's why when I'm riding with the Corvette, depending on which group you're in, you have different passing rules. For the beginner group that I was in, only passing on the straightaways with a point by, which is part of the reason I didn't get a ton of point buys, because on the straightaways a lot of time I was slowing down. I mean, I think some people were just nice because I'd chew up their bumper through the turns and they'd let off a little bit and let me by. Or normally about the third lap, my tires would be warmed up and my engine wasn't overheating yet. So I'd be able to give it, full throttle down the straightaways and pass some people. Anyway, yeah, in the upper group, you saw the Corvette. They were allowed to give point buys in a lot of different areas, in braking zones, etc., because he's in a higher group than I am. You also saw when he kind of almost spun out. The video doesn't really do it justice how fast we were going at the end of that straightaway when he cuts it in. He has a headset, and when I put on the screen say no brakes, that's what I heard on my headset, and normally he brakes really hard and pretty late, and we were a good bit into where he would normally be braking, and I guess they caught a little bit and we killed a little speed, but we were still going like 100 miles an hour or more, and I hear him go, I don't have any brakes, and then he whips it in and we go sideways. But yeah, props to him for keeping us on the road. So if y'all have any questions, let me know. I figured I'd just make a quick video talking about the track day and kind of explaining some of that video, because that was just the highlights. I'm gonna go tear up the parkway for a little bit, get some speed going. Y'all have a good day. I will catch you in the next video. I'll definitely update you guys on car stuff as it happens. Alright guys, see you later. Peace.